Have at it.
Starters will play on Saturday.
I still don't have to make a decision yet, so yeah, you guys know you're not going to get that from me right now.
It's a little bit different this year because you do have competition at a bunch of spots with the ones with the first team. So how will you handle those positions? Will those candidates?
As far as playing, don't know yet. I don't know yet. We're still figuring out. I don't have to make a decision quite yet on that. We'll see. We talked through everything, and we're still talking through it. Any other questions about playing in the preseason?
The fact that you're starting out, you're practicing against the Browns on Monday, 2 days after that game, will that affect your decision?
It may.
What was the tweak in the schedule about adding Tuesday, moving to the link yesterday?
Just like we have to get ready to play and coach in game-like scenarios, and I thought it was a good opportunity for us. We went to the stadium the day before, or the Sunday, pardon me, and there were some things that I needed to work on as a head coach with some game management things, and that I also wanted the coaches to practice some more of the communication of what's going on before our first preseason game, and so that was more about coaches getting over there and going through their reps, so that we're operating at game 10 when we're on game 1, right? We don't so that's really important for us, that we're operating at a high level. So that's all that was about. And I felt it for myself that I needed some reps there. So it really was self-awareness of myself of man, you know what? I didn't at the stadium practice on Sunday night. I needed a little bit more work. I needed to, that was a little distracting. But I had to be locked into that part. And so I wanted to run a little bit more like a game, and it was more about me and then just the coaches in there. Yeah, good. I think really good. Our guys, every day we post our mental errors. Every day we go through that, and I know they've done a great job as far as knowing what to do. Anytime we have the biggest thing on defense is whenever you have a bust, it can lead to a big play. So that's, in team meetings, especially if we have a bust ever, that's in the team meetings, because we know how important the explosive play battle is. And the easiest way to give those up on defense is have a bust. But we've been really good there, and our coaches have done a good job of teaching it, and our players have done a good job of executing it, and the job description's been clear, and the players understand their job.
Situations you use in practice are very specific, with time, down, distance. Are they based on real game situations you've encountered or teams have encountered, or are they picked at random?
Everything just like you would, we have to get so many reps of this and so many reps of that as a play. You do the same thing situationally. And so sometimes we'll have, you have, let's just say it's backed up, right? You have, hey, this is our goals on backed up. Here are our rules on backed up football. Here's what we need to do. Here's the situations that we need to practice and we can practice. And then naturally, when you have that for each individual 4-minute backed up, 2-minute general situations that just pop up, when you study that, naturally things will pop up from games. You're like, man, that I never thought of that. And so most of the time it's, the situations that we practice, because, we have a detailed list of what we want to do and what the things we need to be experts at. And then some things come up like, hey, remember, the whatever, for instance, the Tom Brady drive in 2019. And so sometimes you name it that too, so everybody locks in to say, okay, here's what we discussed when in a 2-minute drill with the Tom Brady drive against the Rams. Boom. And we're all locked into it. So it's a little bit both and, but just the important part is that we feel really comfortable in our situations and know that we work hard at it, and that needs to be an edge for us because, and I feel that it has been, and then just asking the players questions in meetings and how they're rapid fire after it, you can really tell how locked in they are to it.
Nick, you don't have a ton of on-field time to implement Sean's defense and new starters to that defense. How do you feel that's going, and as you ramp up towards the regular season?
Yeah, again, I think just the same way. I feel like the guys are really locked in. Again, not a lot of mental errors. They're flying around and make plays. I know the defense got the better of the offense in the practice at the stadium the other day. So yeah, I'm pleased with where we are right now. But we're not at the game yet, right? We're not at game one yet, and so we just got to keep getting better at that. But I feel like it's been really good so far.
I know you guys talk about trying to build scheme around the players you have. On defense, is that difficult right now because you have a few positions that are kind of up in the air?
No, you're still at this point of training camp. You're still installing different things and looking how things work. But you're always thinking about the players and what they can do and what they can't do, and trying to maximize what they can do, right? Without being predictable on all those different things. So, that's why you're in a constant evaluation state of what the guys can do and what. So there's a fine line between installation and getting the stuff in, and also adapting to the players. So it's a both and right now, and I think that's where we're in the direction of going. Yeah, very good. Our guy, especially with our O line and D line, everybody knows we got really good players on the O line. We got really good players on the D line. That's a battle every day. I think about Lane and Hassan going against each other. Those are two guys that had phenomenal years last year, have been phenomenal players, and that's just iron sharpening iron. They really pushed each other last year, and same thing with Jason and Jordan, and so it's we've been getting great work and competitiveness by especially that group within practice, and that speaks to how we practice because of the leaders we have on this team, and then just the talent that we have.
What was into this thinking to have evening practices next week?
That was all about. You caught me off guard a little bit with the Brown stuff. That's just all about just our timing with what we needed to do with meetings and different stuff like that. So it was just what worked out better. It's obviously different, but when you're practicing against somebody else, you're working with them to make sure that you both are getting what you want, and that's just the way it worked out this week.
In the preseason last year, Jalen played that first game, took a late hit, and did not play again in the preseason. How much has your past experience and that in particular factored into what you plan on doing?
It's all about if they're ready. Hey, look, it's football. They're gonna get hit, and obviously it's more controlled here at practice. And speaking of the quarterback, it's obviously more controlled at practice. They're wearing a red jersey, and they are told over and over again, don't get near the quarterback, and how important that is. So it's more controlled there. But all you're trying to do is make sure guys are ready to go in that first game. And so sometimes you feel like they need to play in that first preseason game or second preseason game or third preseason game, and sometimes you don't. It's based off of how practice is going. That's why I'm not ready to give that answer. I don't want to give you guys the answer on that right now. I appreciate you guys trying hard at getting it, because even after today, things can change, right? And so, because, again, we get another day of work today, and, it's just football, and guys, and that's going to happen. And so I just got to do what they got to do to get ready to play, regardless of the hits that they take. It's because it's a violent game, and guys are going to get hit.
When you were doing have that 24-game winning streak that apparently is an NFL record, you're a big competitor. I know usually you don't really care about winning or losing preseason games. But
I always care. I always want to win.
But does that kind of being such a competitor, does that kind of get you a little extra juiced up to maybe? When every time you step on the field, you want to compete. Every time you step in the classroom, right? We're competing at everything. So of course, that's one of our core values is to compete. So anytime we go out there, we want to look sharp. We want to play clean football. We want to compete at the highest level, and that's no different whether they've won 24 in a row or lost 24 in a row. It is impressive. That's a very impressive stat that they've won 24 in a row, no doubt. Very impressive. And so, but anytime we step on the field, we want to compete and go at it, and that can't ever change based off of who you're playing or what their record is. And that's how a season goes. Sometimes you're going to play a team that has a really good record. Sometimes you might play a team that doesn't have a great record, but it's about coming to work and being the same guy every day and consistency.
In the offseason, when you
building out this year's version of the offense, how much time did you spend on like playing the game of this is what we expect defenses to do in terms of adjustments to us, and this is how we react to that, or is it more like just building out what we want to do?
You always have to. It's always a both and. It's always a both and, because you want to make sure you're putting the guys. If you just went out there and just said, "Here's what we're doing," and it weren't putting the guys in positions to succeed. Like it's right. That's a big part of it too. Like now, do you always get what you think you're going to get? No, but our job as coaches is to put them in the best positions to succeed while doing the things they do the best. While doing the things they do best, right? And so, it's always both. It's always both about what you do well and about what the defense does well. Now, it's important too that you don't get scared out of some things that can work because of a certain defense they play, but because of who you have as players. So, but it always starts with the players, putting them in positions to succeed and letting them do what they do well.
What message do you have for Derek?
Young players who may play Saturday night, how valuable of an experience?
You say the young players, Martin?
Yeah. Who may play Saturday night without any games or anything like that. How valuable of an experience will it be going against another team, either in their feet web?
Again, we get such good work here against our own unit. All time, every time they step on the field, it's a great experience. But now they get to do it in a game. Kind of like what we were over there at the stadium in a game like scenario, right? Not game like. So obviously, great experience for the guys that get to play in this game. And also they're not only on display. The hard thing about this is that we can only keep 53 guys. And so not only are they on display for us, but they're on the display for 31 other teams in the NFL. So great opportunities for these guys, and great opportunities for us to see, them, taking all the practice reps and then go playing in a game. That's obviously really important because that's how a season's played, right? I think we're the only professional sport that you practice more than you play. And so that's really important, right? That you have to be able to take practice, build up to play a game on Sunday. And so that's what this is.
What more scenarios camp is affected by
there's been some more snaps on the ground than we would like. And so it's always it's always a little bit harder that he has to handle that. He's got to do so many different things he's looking at defenses, checking plays, all those different things. And so we're working hard with the backup centers to continue to perfect their snapping. And so, but anytime, and I would just say anytime a snap is off, it makes it harder to play quarterback. That's just the way it is because they got a lot of things going on and trying to read a defense and catch a snap is obviously tough.
What message do you have for Derek Barnett after his practice?
I love his competitiveness. I love his how tough he is and everything like that. But in a scenario like that, it's you can't react, and it's always anytime you get a personal foul, you always want to talk about, hey, we can't do that because we gotta fight them within the next play legally, right? And so actually we didn't watch the tape as a team yet. We will tonight, and so that will be my message: is that there's going to be things that it's a good teaching lesson for everybody. There's going to be things that a guy on another team does that's out of my control that I'm not going to like. I got to keep you have to be able to play tough, violent, strong, nasty, aggressive, all those different adjectives. You have to do all those things while doing it legally, right? And so it'll be a good a teaching moment for all of us to be able to teach off that, just like we teach off of any other situation. That's just another situation that popped up that we'll learn from and get better from.